Hello and welcome to Attitude and Self-Image for Women. My friends, this is where our inner perspective, right, becomes our presence. Our inner perspective becomes our presence, and where our attitude shapes our identity, and our identity shapes our destiny. I want to thank you for being here with me today. This is going to be a little bit different, which is I love change. I don't know about you, but that's something about me that I really do love. Change is something that we all go through. And change is how do you receive change? I know a lot of people really don't like change at all. And why is that, do you think? Do you think it's because it makes you uncomfortable? Is it because you don't like what you don't you don't like something if you don't know what the outcome is supposed to be? But my friends, this is what I have learned over time. And what I've learned is this. Whatever is going to take place is going to take place whether or not you accept it or not, right? So why not just take it and accept it for what it is? Now, what you can change is your attitude about what that change is. Most of us have a paradigm. A paradigm is a collection of habits and beliefs that were built into us long ago. We're talking back when we were born, and these came on us. And if we never grew into knowing more about who we are, those old habits, those old beliefs from decades ago, still control how we talk to each other, how we talk to ourselves, how we respond. All of these come from behaviors, the attitude that we picked up when we were a young child. Most people don't take the time to understand that. They just say, well, that's just the way I am, right? How many times have we said, I've been saying that to myself as well. So you're not alone if that resonates with you, because I have said to myself, well, that's just the way it is, right? And I'm like, but Susan, it's the way you want it to be. I have reshaped my business. Alignment Activator, I am now focusing on women 55 and above. And why am I choosing that? 55 and above, women who are considering retirement, thinking about retirement in some way, or maybe you filled out the paperwork already, and you kind of got that, I'm going to be out of here in a year or 6 months or whatever. Or you may be counting the days. Isn't that interesting? There were times when I used to feel that way when I was just leaving a job, not necessarily retiring. What I want to share with you is this. I'm 74 years old. I know I don't look it. Hey, my clients tell me that all the time, but I look good, I feel good, and I am good. But there were decades I never felt that way. I always thought that when you get older, there are things, your whole life changes, right? When we get older, we don't really have a purpose anymore. Boy, was that wrong. That was so wrong. And so what I am here to do is to share my gift of giving back to all of you women who are at that changing point in your life, at that change when we start to think, wow, I'm getting ready to leave a position that I've held for decades. You know, I was that way too. I mean, I've held positions, I've been in charge of laboratories. I mean, when I was in the medical field, I was somebody. I had titles. I had all these initials behind my name. I look good. I look real good. In real estate, the same way. I did everything I could because I wanted to be the best at what I was doing. Do you feel that way? You know, you want to be the best. You want to feel needed. You want to feel important. And then that way you believe, then you have respect. That's a whole nother story I can get on. However, what I'm getting at is this. All the titles, all the credentials, all the years that you put somewhere and you've invested your life. And I mean, one of the questions my mentor asks us quite frequently is what you're doing worth the years, worth the time that you are spending your life doing it? Do you enjoy it enough that it's worth the time you're trading for that? You know, we give and we give and we give to build somebody else's business, correct? We build to get them advanced. And it's with our knowledge, with our our inner being. We give it all we can. And then it turns out all it is a piece of paper that says, you know, thank you for being here. You may get a watch. I've gotten a clock, which I thought was very interesting. I've gotten a watch before. I mean, I've just, you know, when you leave something that you've dedicated so much of your time to, you get some sort of, whatever it's called, gift saying thank you for your service. And when you walk out the door, that's it. And then you wonder, is anybody even going to miss me? You know what? You think you have friends that are in the business with you. You may have some. There are occasions when people do continue on with those relationships, but a lot of times they don't. Now, is that bad? Is that good? Who knows? What I have learned is this. I've learned to love me. You know, and that took me decades to ever really say, because most of the time I never really liked me that much. And the reason I say that is because you don't know who you are. You know, I thought I knew who I was, but really what was going on with me, I can only speak of me. I'm not, you may be totally different. You may be, but I want you just to hear what I'm saying. That's all I ask. Just hear what I'm saying and let it sink in. I thought because I go to work, I show up on time, I do what I'm supposed to do, I give more than what they expect. I did more than what they expect. I would stay late if they were needing me. When a project came up, I would be there. If I needed to be on call, I would take it. I would show up if someone said, I can't make it today, can you make it for me? Would you fill in for me? I would be there. I did that for decades. Now, there's so many stories in all of this, because stop and think, how does that affect your family life? You know? But in my mind, I was thinking, wow, now Susan, this is really good because they appreciate what you're doing. And they probably did, because it took away any kind of pressure that they may have been under, whoever that might have been, the boss, a coworker, somebody who really needed some help. And you were willing to step up. You were willing to give your time, your space, your energy to help somebody out. And so in your thinking, we then think, oh, well, that's going to mean something later on down the road, right? But what it really means is this. If you don't know who you are, you can give all the time away. You can give all the energy away. You can take from your family away. But in the end, the only thing that really matters is maybe you will think, I did my best, right? And you did. I did my best. But what I found out was this. It wasn't necessarily my best that I was giving. In a way, I was thinking, if I do this, perhaps this will be something down the road that will be different. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll back off from that for a minute. But when we trade our life and time for somebody else or something else, you need to really evaluate, is that something that in the long run is going to benefit me? Because no one can answer for you but you. Now, when we get 55 and over, usually our children are grown. So we're not having to really think that much about them and what it is for them at that point, right? So what I'm asking you to do is start thinking about you. What have you done for you? Because you're still giving, because you're still in the workforce, which is absolutely wonderful. What I am working on right now is to get it into the workforce and to collaborate with HR personnel, HR managers, to bring in my service to help women who are transitioning out of the business part and to help those that are taking over their place, to make it so that everything is smooth, right? And all these years of experience and expertise and knowledge and all this wisdom that you have carried around for decades can be shared and taken down to somebody else as well. Now, if it has to be tweaked, it has to be tweaked. But there's still value in what it is that you offer, what it is you offered to the company. So what I want you to think about is, how much time have you done that? And when you stop and think about all the time that you have done that for somebody else, how much of that time did you give to you? I can tell you, I gave myself 0 time. Now, why do I tell you that? Because a lot of us do it. We may not want to admit to it, right? Because it's not something that I'm real proud of at this point in my life, because, I'm like, okay, you're 74 and what are you doing? This is what I've learned. I've learned that I have been blessed with a gift that so many people never seem to unwrap. We were all born with a gift. Did you know that? We all have a gift. We all have a purpose within us. Most people never really stop to think what that purpose is. And why do you think that is? What I have found is we don't take the time. We don't stop and say, you know what, there's got to be more to me than this. Because that's where I was. There's got to be more. I felt within me this, it's an uneasiness. It's like a gnawing. I don't know how to explain what it is, but it's just something within that's never settled. You ever feel that way? Like what's going on here? Why can't I be happy sitting on the couch? right? Oh gosh, I hope you're never doing that. But anyway, why can't I be happy doing that? Why can't I be happy just not doing anything at all? Oh my gosh, I hope you're not doing that. But it kept on and kept on and kept on, and it wouldn't go away. But you know what? I tapped into that. I was like, okay, Susan, find out what it is. There's got to be answers, because for anything that's out there that you think doesn't have an answer, there's a total opposite, and there is an answer. It's just whether or not you go to seek it, because once you seek it, then you bring it together. It's like that bridge, right? It's the bridge of not knowing, and over here is the knowing. And so you need to bring those together to find out what it is. That's when I started learning about me. And I cannot stress it enough. The beauty, the love, the respect, the wonderful feeling that's within me right now to want to give what I know now about where I was in the corporate world, in the professional realm, right? In the medical field, in the real estate field, in the fitness field, all these things I did was leading me to one thing. And that one thing is to learn about me. Now, I say all of that because I am shaped by what took place. I don't live in that place anymore, but that shaped me. It made me constantly in awareness that there's something more, there's something more. And, I started to think just now, it just popped into my mind, maybe that is why when we're in a business, in a job, uh, maybe that's why we just keep going and adding more and doing more and doing more, because we know deep inside there's more to us. Wow, isn't that a beautiful thought? To know there's something deep inside you that is is seeking to get out. Think of that. Let that sink in so it can seek out. Hmm. But it just hit me because, I said that, my past shaped what I am today. And that's why I never gave up on whatever it is I'm doing. But then when I went into a retirement before I started this business, right? Before I became an entrepreneur, I never wanted to just sit and not do anything at all, because there was something constantly within me. And if you're in the workforce right now, if you're in the workplace and you keep doing things because there's some sense of accomplishments, right? But what I want you to start thinking about, if you aren't at retirement yet, but you're thinking about it, once you put that thought in the mind, it starts going out. Things start happening. So if you have thought about it, then it's out there. So what I would like for you to do is take what it is that you've taken in, take that and say, okay, how can I change that around to now benefit me, to help me grow me? Wow. Have you ever thought about that? What do you think it'd be like to grow you now? Like you've helped companies grow. What would it be like if you used the wisdom that you have and put that towards you? Wow. Think about it. What if you put the time that you put in these companies, right? The time you have spent helping somebody else, put that into you. Oh my gosh. How awesome would that be? What do you think you would turn out to be? Oh, my friends. There is so much more to you. The beautiful thing is, it's never too late. You're never too slow, never too old. Believe me, hello. You're never too old. Because once you start releasing all of this lack mindset, this lack thinking, this lack of, I can't do that, this lack of, that's not for me, attitude. We're talking attitudes here, right? That changes your whole image of yourself. You are perfect. Now, it took me a long time, but I'm perfect too. Even with, I had on my curly hair, you know, I have wrinkles on my face, you know, I sag, whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's on the inside. Remember, where that inner perspective, what is that perspective of who you are? When that becomes, right? Becomes, meaning it's in there and you're bringing it out, right? When that inner perspective becomes your present. So take this thought with you, please. The thought is, what is inside you? What have you given to the world for decades? What have you done? What have you given? How have you felt with that? I know you feel joy with it because there have been times when I would do things for other people. It made me feel good because I knew I did a great job. I knew what I did was really going to increase whatever it is they wanted, whether it was profit, uh, over their margins, whatever it might have been. I knew what I was doing was really good. And it made me feel good. Just boosted my inner sides. I want you to take that inner perspective of what you did for somebody else and make it your presence. How would that feel? You know as well as I do, it'd feel fantastic. And as I always say, marvelous. Because you are marvelous. I want you to know that. Stick with me. I am here because this is my gift. This is my calling. My calling is to get it out. My calling is to raise up. My calling is to help somebody else. Because you know what? Sometimes we need help. But you know what? We don't like to ask for it because we always like people to think that, I'm okay. I can do whatever I want, right? Really. Just be open. Be willing. Reach down in. Have a desire to do something for you. Man, it took me a long time. It may take you as long too. I don't know. But I'm here. I want you to know I'm open. I'm available. And you know what? Together we can grow. I, I've been doing this, developing me for 4 years now. And every day is a beautiful day. Every day. I make choices that, I may not have a whole lot of friends, but I feel good with me. Isn't that a neat way? Isn't that an awesome thing to think about? When was the last time you felt good about you? Just you. Do you know you can like being with you? I didn't think I would. But I want you to know I'm here for you. I want you to tune in, stay with me. Please comment. Please like my podcast. Like what I do. Help me to grow so I can help you grow. It's all about doing it, right? So just get out and do it. I'm here for you. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're at. Let me know how I can reach out to you. Let me know how I can help you more, guide you. A lot of people don't like the word help because they think they don't need to be helped. Okay, if you don't like that, let me guide you, right? This is just me. This is who I am. If you like me, join me, talk to me, let me know. What can I do to help you? And we're going to grow on this. We're just going to keep growing. And the more we grow together, the stronger we become. Because we as women, we really are very strong. We have a lot within us. And I'm here to help you draw that out. Draw that out. Because some of it's just really deep. It's seated way down. And wouldn't you like to know more about how you can improve that? I know that whatever that was inside me, once I learned it was just my inner essence, we all have it. It was just my inner essence wanting to come out to my present. I'm here for you. Thank you for joining me today. And until the next time, always like and subscribe. Comment below. Where are you? Are you thinking about retirement? Because if you are, this is exactly where you need to be. Even if you're not thinking about retirement and you say, well, I've still got some time here, right? Hey, it doesn't matter because you know what? It's really just about you. It's not about all this other stuff because all this other stuff is going to fall into place. So let's do this together. And I'll see you the next time. And always remember, when we are together, we are very strong. Your attitude and your self-image create who you are today. So let's improve on those. Let's make it and bring you up. Thank you for being here with me. Until the next time, take care.